Hello and welcome to this iCode After School video tutorial. Today we're going to be taking a look at this project called Crystal Collector, where we have this character asking us for a password to enter. Uh, Now if we put in, you can see it says hint, the password is please. If we put in the password is please, correct, here are some crystals. And we get a whole bunch of treasure. Now if we stop the program and we start it over and we write something else like let me in, let's see what happens. Wrong! You are dragon food! Oh no! So we get attacked by this dragon who animates here. So today we're going to be looking at how to create a prompt situation like this and have all of these different characters, and how to have that win condition and lose condition. Let's get into the project. In our new blank project, let's change our title from Untitled to Crystal Collector, just so that as we work it'll save everything that we do. And let's remove our orange cat from the scene and bring in the other sprites that we'll need. So we're going to need, now you're welcome to change these characters as you feel fit and the treasure, but we're going to use Nano as our main character asking at the door, what the password is. And then we are going to select a dragon. If you want something else, you could definitely choose a T-Rex or some other monster. But something menacing and scary if you give the wrong password. And then finally, we're going to need to add in a crystal that we can cycle through as you win. Now, one issue right off the bat is that Nano, this character here, is a little smaller than in the demo scene. So let's make the size, change it right here from 100 to 150 and press enter. That's a lot better. That looks like somebody standing right in front of you asking what the password is. Next, let's add in our backdrop that we're going to need for the scene. And let's go with the Castle 1 backdrop. If you have a different character or a different setting, choose what you think works best for you. Now that we have all of our art added in, let's add in the code, starting with Nano, who is going to be our character checking the front door. So let's add in 2 when the green flag is clicked. We're adding in 2 just so we can separate out the code and see it more clearly. The first one is going to be a go to XY in the motion section. And we're going to set X to be 0. That way, starts right here down in the middle every time. And then we are going to go to the look section and add a show. That way, if we restart the program, it will show Nano because later we're going to be hiding the character. And that's that for this green flag event. Let's do the other one by going to sensing, and we have a new code block called ask, where we can put in a question and it'll wait until there's a response. So let's make our question, what is the password? And then it'll wait. So we also have the password, we have the answer variable. So whatever our player types in will be right here in this circle. So we'll save that right here for now. Now let's go to the control section and we're going to add a if then else code block. So if you're familiar with the if then code block, the question is if something happens, then we do the code inside. If not, we just move on. Now the difference with the if then else code block is if something happens, then we do the code inside, but if it doesn't happen, then we do the code inside of the else statement. So you'll see what we mean in just a second here. Let's go to operators. And in operators, we're going to grab this check here for if one thing is equal to another. And we're going to drag that right in here. Now we can change the 50 from a number just to a word just by choosing to do so. So instead of 50, let's have it be the word please. And that will be our password to get in. You can make the password whatever you'd like, whatever you think is easy to remember. And then we're going to click and drag our answer right here. So this checks if our answer is equal to the password we chose, then they win. Else, so If that isn't true, if it isn't the password, then they lose. And this is where we can control all of that right here. So let's start with the win condition, and we'll go to looks, and let's say for 2 seconds, correct. Here are the crystals, because the player for winning is going to get a bunch of crystals. Next after that, let's go to the event section, and we're going to add a broadcast. Now a broadcast is a message that plays to every sprite in our game, alerting them all of the same thing at once. That way they're all on the same page. So for this, we're going to have a broadcast to say that we win crystals. That's pretty easy. So let's put that right here. Next, let's go back to looks, and we're just going to add a hide, so it hides Nano after this, because then we're going to start showing the crystals in the scene. Now for the lose statement, we're going to have somewhat similar code. We're going to have a say for 2 seconds, but this time we're going to write wrong, you are dragon food. Now that that's done, let's go back to events, broadcast message, and we're going to need a new message, this one, for show dragon. Now you can name these whatever you think is easiest to understand and remember, but this is just the name for showing the dragon and having it appear, uh, and doing the end lose state of the game. Finally, let's add one more from looks. Let's add one more hide code block. And then we'll have everything done for the setup of our initial question character in our scene. So with that complete, let's head over to the dragon first. And let's look at the dragon's code. We're going to start with an event for when the green flag is clicked. And we're going to go to looks and just add a hide. That way when the scene starts, you can't see the dragon. Then we're going to go to events, and we're going to check when I receive show dragon. That way it knows that the player is lost. It's time to show up, time to animate breathing fire. So let's do that, and we're going to add a show command right here. Then we're going to go to control and add a forever loop. So it'll loop indefinitely until the game stops. Then we'll go back to looks. We'll go to next costume, so it cycles through fire breathing and stomping. And in between each one of those, so it animates pretty well, we're going to go to control, and let's just add a wait command here. And we'll put that under next costume. And we'll make it small. We'll make it for 0.3 seconds. So let's try that out. Let's see. So if we put in a password that is kind of correct, please let me in. Too many words. Let's see. Wrong, you are dragon food. There's our dragon. Now a little bit off center, we can change that really quickly. We can just drag where we want the dragon to be. And we can also make it a little bit bigger if you see fit. 125 looks pretty good. Maybe right there. Perfect. With the dragon complete, let's just finish up by doing the code for the crystal. And it's going to be somewhat similar. We're going to click and drag this code block right here. It's going to have the same when the green flag is clicked, hide. And then we're just going to go and add the rest of the code manually. So we'll start with receiving the win crystals broadcast. So when I receive win crystals, then we're going to go to control, and we are going to use a repeat loop. So it creates a certain amount of crystals. Let's go with something high. Let's add 300 crystals. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch our costume every time it repeats. And we're going to go to control and create a clone of myself, in this case, the crystal. So it's just going to keep creating clones of itself over and over 300 times. Next up, let's go to when I start as a clone. So for every crystal that appears as a clone, let's go to looks and add a show command just to make sure it's showing up properly. And then we will go to motion and we will add a go to random position. So it'll appear anywhere on the screen. So let's test out our game and make sure everything is working as it should be. So, what is the password? Let's go with please. Correct, here are the crystals. And as you can see, all of the crystals come up. Next, let's try a different password. Let's just say open up. Wrong, you are dragon food. And we are attacked by the dragon. So it looks like everything is working how we want it to. You can definitely make some changes and tweaks. You can add some sounds if you'd like to. Play around with this and do what you think is best for it. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video tutorial. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. We'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you again for watching and have a great day. Goodbye.